This is Brian, and welcome back to Final Fantasy X. We're getting pretty close to winding down here for what I need to do yet. Working on the sphere grid for Kimahri and Riku is all I got left, other than doing a few of the final super bosses. And it's been a few days since I recorded for this one, so I gotta remember exactly where I'm at here. Yeah, I thought we were gonna have to farm for some of these. I think we'll just do 2 power, 2 mana, 2 speed, and 1 ability while I'm at it. Although for that, let's go ahead and bring these guys in to farm Fafnir. I probably don't really need the ability, but let's just go ahead and do 1. And that should certainly get us done with it. Unless I wanted to use them to like boost some abilities or stats for the Aeons. But I think we'll be okay. Yeah, let's just punch out these fights quickly. They don't take too long. This isn't necessarily going to be the last time I'll have to farm for these things, but I'm getting pretty close to it. And I do plan on just making today all about finishing up the sphere grid for Riku and Kimahri, or getting as much done as we can at least. And then tomorrow, I'll either finish up with what we need, or if I do get done today, we'll just move on to fighting the rest of the bosses. I did a second guess there where it's like, did I use an extract ability? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. Get to talking about other things and kind of tend to forget then. That's what a goldfish feels like, I guess. But yeah, the only things I have left for fighting are the end of the Dark Aeon chain, finishing that up, and then going against Nemesis in the arena. I think I'll do Nemesis first. Okay, we've got enough power for now. Let's go for mana. And I know most people probably call it mana, but I've just gotten used to calling it mana since I was a kid, so that's what I always say. Kind of like Titus versus Titus. I've been used to calling him Titus, so that's what he is to me. And ever since they started voice acting, there have been several different words that are commonly used that that's not how I pronounce them because, well, when I was a kid, I didn't know how they were supposed to be pronounced. And who knows if they always get it right when they're doing the voice acting for these games. At least that's what I'll tell myself. Like, notably, I think about Final Fantasy XII in the way that they pronounce some of those names in there. Some of the summoning names. Like, what they generally did in that game is the summons that you get aren't the same kind of names as most summons in different games. But a lot of the ships or vessels involved are named after the summons you see in other Final Fantasy games, like Atomos, Shiva. But notably the ones that I thought that they said it differently than what I would have thought. Ifrit, I think they say the Ifrit, and I'm not sure which one of those is right, but I always thought it was just Ifrit. And the other one is, I always considered the Dragon King, ever since Final Fantasy I, to just be Bahamut. But they say Bahamut in that one. Like I said, I would tend to think that maybe they're right, but maybe it's just a matter of the voice acting and the direction that they got in that game, and maybe it's wrong. Because I'm pretty sure I've heard Bahamut in other games, and they say it just Bahamut. Then again, I'm more of an old retro guy, and I don't play a ton of games that have voice acting. Okay, hopefully just one more here will take care of it. For now, at least. And then it'll be back to Don Tonberry. Let's see where we're at. Yep, looks good. I knew we were going to be a little bit over on power, but that's perfectly fine. Alright, let's go walk it. Take your punishment. One of the reasons I'm waiting until I'm done with Kimahri and Riku for the other bosses that I'm going to face is, from what I recall, I think almost all of them, if not exactly all of them, do a little bit more with status effects, potentially at least. So Riku has a ribbon on, and I would rather have her as part of my group going in. I know Kimahri has a ribbon too, but I'm not gonna set his armor up to make him one of the active members, because it has like auto regen too, and I don't really want that on there. I don't remember last time I sold this stuff off, so let's check and see what I got. Not fighting Earth Eater anymore, so we're probably not going to see those really big dollar amounts. But some of these aren't worth the worst either. We're over 6 million in my Gil stash. Okay, where were we, Riku? Just moving along here, I guess. That's right, I had them both coming up this way, so she was just a little behind Kimahri at this point. Although, overall, she's still farther ahead, I think, as far as what she's unlocked. And since all I have left is some boss fights, and I mean, technically I guess I could try to do the Chocobo racing to get the Khalid Bulg, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I gave it an honest try, and we got barely close. If you want to watch my Chocobo racing, I did a couple attempts at it. The first time I did like 20 minutes worth, and the second time I did about 45 minutes. And I don't remember exactly where I was at for my best run, but it was like 1 point something seconds, I think. And you have to get it below 0 to get the sigil. So that'll be about the only thing I don't do in this as far as a platinum run goes. At least I'm pretty sure. I've gotten the platinum trophy before, but like I said, the Chocobo racing is the only thing that I've only done like legitimately once. But I think in at least showing that I got it down to 1 point something seconds, that shows you that I at least am capable of doing it. You just have to get lucky enough and have the right run. Have a little patience, which I could always use a little more of that, I know. But anyway, just saying that with finishing this up and just having a few bosses left, I would imagine we're down to within the final, like maybe 5 hours worth of gameplay for this. I don't want to say exactly how much because I know some of those bosses take a long time. Like the main super boss or final boss or whatever you want to call him. Final optional boss. I think that fight in itself might take over an hour. Might also depend on what kind of strategy you're trying to use, though. But after that, we'll be in position to move on to a new Final Fantasy game. And I do still intend to put a poll up and let people say which one they would rather see next out of the 3 that I have on the board. I suppose I could even make it more open and put 4 on the board. Because we have Final Fantasy Tactics, 10-2, 12, and eventually I'm going to do 13, so I could just add 13 to the list. I don't see 13 probably winning that, but Who knows? I know not everybody out there hates it, but it certainly doesn't get the most love in the Final Fantasy community either, from what I see. Okay, about 50 levels in for Riku here. He's probably not quite going to be able to get done with this and make it back to the down facing area, or the path back down to the bottom part. We got enough to finish this out though, at least. And which one was it in the middle here? Was this Ultima? I think it might be. I know Claire was back over to the left more so. Yep, that's Ultima. How far back can I get? Yeah, looks like that's it. We'll leave her there for now. And Kimahri was a little ahead of her on this path, so he should be able to make it a little farther than that. Got his double cast, which I don't know if that's something I'll probably use against any of the remaining bosses. Probably not. I did utilize it a little bit earlier though. Especially in that Jumbo Flan fight, before I figured out to just use Anima's Pain. We were using double cast Ultima against him. Yeah, they'll get a little bit ahead of Riku again here. Even with the stats I have, I think all the bosses that we're going to face yet are going to have moves that can wipe us all out, potentially. So then you just have to go in with the idea of, are you going to use auto life? Or the other option would be to try to shield it with summoning an Aeon to let it take the hit. I'm probably mostly gonna just stick to trying auto life. But if I try that a time or two and it doesn't work out, I might resort to the Aeons. And we have fought all the Dark Aeons up to Yojimbo. So even anybody that doesn't know, I'm sure you could guess what else is left. There is a Dark one for every one of them, so there is a Dark Anima yet. And the Dark Magus Sisters. The thing is, for the Dark Magus Sisters though, you can tackle that in two different ways. And without elaborating more on that, it's just to say that there's a hard way and an easy way. I haven't really decided yet if I want to try the hard way or just do it the easy way. Because I don't think it matters as far as credit that you get for beating them. I might try it the hard way once just to show it. And if I fail, well then, I'll just do it the easy way. I know I've tried the hard way before, but I don't remember if I beat it that way or not. Yeah, we used up about half of my speed and my mana already again. But hopefully that means I can at least get through one more round after using Don Tomberry before I have to stop and farm them. I guess that's assuming we go through them at least the same rate or less. Okay. That's where he'll end up for now. And yeah, that doesn't connect there, so gotta go all the way down here before we get to move on, and from there I guess I can decide how I want to tackle the rest of it. First though, let's go back in for Don Tomberry. Yeah, also I did start my other playthrough of, my other playthrough that's currently going on right now is Breath of Fire 3 now, and I'm enjoying it so far. Not really too far into it yet, but better than, maybe that's not fair to say. I was going to say better than what I remember, but I really don't think I got into it far enough to give it a fair shake before. And I don't know why. I don't remember why. If it was just that I got distracted by something else, or Argonaut. Okay. Let's get her over here. There seems to be a recurring theme in the Breath of Fire series, though, or at least with number 2 and number 3 now, where you start off as... It starts off with young kids that are up to no good and getting into trouble, committing crimes. Part of it is because they're usually orphans that don't have any adults around to tell them what to do. So, what did the writers really think about kids, huh? Okay, got all the elemental Aga spells. And I know she has more of the bottom portion of the grid done already than Kimahri, but not the bottom right, I don't think. You still got to do pretty much all of this. And I guess at this part here, I can go inside and get the rest of this to the right here first. And then I can decide on if I want to go up or down at that left junction. I think I'll go up at first, at least. And see where it can kind of loop around from there. And head up this way, I think. Haven't used one of those in a little while here, but they are kind of concentrated in the bottom portion of the grid for me. Okay, well this just connects to that part. Okay, so we're gonna have to backtrack now anyway. But I want to get that kind of stuff out of the way first anyway, if I can help it. So that works for me. And I can make it back and do a little bit of this yet. And then I suppose go up and finish this stuff off and then come over here. But instead of going off and doing all of that, maybe I'll branch back down over here. Because I do want to kind of leave it to the point where she'll kind of end up with these guys here. The only reasoning for that mostly is just me wanting to have symmetry with it, and also in case they do need to add stuff to the grid, that way everybody can go ahead and get it right away. And they'll all be right there. I don't have to worry about moving anybody all the way around the grid for it. Yeah, we'll probably end up fighting Fafnir a little more yet today, it looks like. Would be an opportunity to branch off and go a different way for him if I want, but at this point, I think I'll just let them follow each other. I think his would be about the same in this direction, so I should be able to get back up to that point and have to backtrack just like I did for Riku. Still got 30 fortune spheres. And he's almost caught up to where Riku left off. And yeah, let's go up this way. Another spell that I probably will never use. Because at this point, if I get Kiraga and Cura, not really much point in using Cura. Especially with our MP being up to 999. And that's even if I used Kimahri in the first place. You probably won't see too much action anymore. And where are we at on my spheres now? Well, I could do 2 more of each of these again, I suppose. Maybe I should just do the next Don Tomberry first, though, and then get moving on the grid. And actually run out of something before I do that. Because that way, my power spheres should be a little lower, and I hopefully won't have to go over 99 on them. Because right now, we're still in that range where I would lose 10 of them if I just went ahead and did it now. Whereas I now can just do 1 set of 40 instead of trying to do 2, but I like to do things one at a time. At least when it's not prohibitively monotonous. And those fights are fast enough that I don't feel they get to that level. Yeah, at this point, I don't think we'll be finishing up this sphere grid quite yet today, but it's not going to have much left if I'm kind of gauging it out correctly. Although I know that's not necessarily my strongest suit when it comes to this kind of thing. What's going to happen first? We're going to get down to 19 power spheres, or are we going to run out of one of the others? Probably going to run out of one of the others, but I do have a bunch of powers coming up here. With all these strength ones right here. Well, there goes the mana. Those here next. Which, that allows me to use a power there at least. Zoom out and let's see where we're at. Yeah, I mean, a decent chunk, but still, it's well on our way to being completely done. Alright, let's go for Fafnir. So, I guess it'll just be 6 fights as long as I get the right drops that I'm looking for. I didn't even pay attention to where I was at on ability, but I'm not going to go for one of those. Yeah, these guys don't even get a hit on me at this point anymore. With the auto haste on our armor and just our regular stats. Suppose if it was an ambush, he might. Okay, that's enough power. And I don't recall if that was my first fight. Yeah, it was. Okay. For mana, that is. Mana. Now I'm saying it the other way. So 1 more for mana and 2 for speed. And here's that ambush. So yes, he will get a turn. But I think he does a charge up, right? Yeah, we'll see what he does. Oh no. He hit Walker for over 200. And that's just going to be all he gets to do, it looks like. Okay, 2 more fights for speed. Alright, hopefully this will be the last fight with him for today at least. I don't think we'll probably quite have enough to finish the grids off without getting more, but 1 more batch of farming hopefully will do it. We'll just have to see what that looks like for tomorrow, if it's like a half hour or if it's going to be like a whole hour out of the video here. Like another full session of just farming in Spear Grid. Guess let's see what else I can get done in the last 10 or 15 minutes here. I'll keep going with Riku here, and then we'll let Kimahri catch up. Up or down from here? I think I'll go... I'll go up for a little while. Might end up deciding to turn around. But let's see how it looks after I go for a little ways here. Yeah, we're still looking pretty good on abilities. Although they go a lot quicker when I got a pocket of 4 of them to unlock in a row there. She's almost done for now. Okay, so that'll let her finish that off. Grab that. And then I guess here, go through that. And probably down here and back around. And then we'll save the rest of this for when she's finishing up right here. Something like that. Now I'm getting into some of the stuff probably here too where Kimahri isn't going to exactly follow what she's doing because he doesn't have some of the stuff unlocked that she already did. Yeah, like he has to come back here and get this stuff, where I think Rico already had that. The Lacuna is nice to have. Although he already has some of this stuff unlocked. But I think let's still go over this way, though. It's just a little faster for him to get there, because he doesn't have to go down and get those other abilities there. So I guess with that, he will still get quite a ways ahead of her here. Let's actually, I think, for this. Well, first of all, yeah, go get this stuff. And then I'll show what I was thinking about. Instead of going right down over that way, I think I'll take the path that's straight down first and grab that luck in monosphere there. Or MP sphere. I guess it's what that one is. Okay, that stops him there for now. We got enough time to at least do the next Don Tomberry fight here. In that time, I guess. That way we can just start up next time with going straight into the sphere grid. I might do a little bit of it here yet, depending on how long this fight takes. I think it's pretty much going to lead me up to where I want to stop though, so yeah, we'll probably just save all 64 levels for both of them. Yep, walk your little green butt slowly forward. Probably sell off the armor that I've been picking up and then double check and see where I'm at on Phoenix Downs and stuff and buy a few of those. Undefeated. Death Proof, Silence, Zombie, and Sleep. It's not bad. Didn't sell for much. Yeah, I was kind of wondering what these Argonauts were. Death, Poison, Stone, and Silence. That's a pretty good combo. Be greater if it had Confuse Proof on it. Yeah, that one's not quite as good, I don't think. Even though that sells for more, but... it just shows that I guess I don't value things exactly the same way they do. All right. We are going to go ahead and call it here. I guess let's just take a quick look at where we were at on stats. That's Kimahri. And there's Rikku. Yeah, her agility's almost maxed out. And she's getting a couple others that are up there in the 200s, so... she's getting pretty close. So we'll finish out Rikku and Kimahri's sphere grids, and I should get time to go ahead and move on to fight Nemesis by the end, I think, next time. We'll see how much time's left. I might just go over and give a decent attempt at him. Or if I try and attempt and fail, we'll save the next attempt for after that. But yeah, I guess first of all, shouldn't put the cart in front of the horse. We gotta finish the sphere grid anyway. But we'll do that tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for watching. And if you've been enjoying the content so far, please like, comment, and subscribe or follow. And we'll catch you next time.